Hello and welcome to the Big Bang Theory podcast. My name's John. I'm here with my friend and colleague Dan.
Yes, ass.
So, listeners, you haven't heard from us for some time, but Dan is here. He's rushed back from sunny Greece at this time of national importance. I don't know if you've been following it on the news. I don't know if you've seen what's happened. A lot of people are a lot of passion going on. Here's the big news, Dan. Exeter City are top of the league.
Whee!
Whee!
And that's all the news you need.
That's all the news you need, 100%. We're here recording on Thursday. This is absolute hot off the press. We know the game happened on Saturday. To tell you what we think about it. Top of the league.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like to me like we've missed too much. Like, it just feels like about a week ago, doesn't it?
I haven't had any feedback from the listeners, but I'm assuming they didn't notice our seamless edit of our appraisal of the Oldham game, even though, you won't know this yet, listeners, that was actually a robot voice filling in some of the gaps.
I didn't even notice.
You didn't notice?
No, but I've not listened to it, but I have listened to it. And I didn't notice.
That's the kind of top quality producer
I just thought
am.
that was
I'm like the
you
Dr.
and
Dre
I.
of podcasts.
Yeah, you are.
I'm
Yeah.
like the George Martin of football podcasts.
Very much so. Okay, yeah. Well, so, and while I was away,
While you were away, 0-0 against Oldham.
Oldham.
A bit of an unfortunate kind of stalemate. And folks were fearing the worst. They were fearing we're not going to get goals from anywhere. We just can't score. We're good at the back.
Yeah,
but we're no good at the front.
Yeah, me too. And in fact, we've talked about this in the last recording, didn't we? About where the goal's going to come from.
Where the goal's going to come from, we said.
And
but we're solid at the back.
And then
we
in
said.
the Oldham game,
where did the goals come from? Nowhere.
Worry was sort of confirmed, magnified even, and then the Saturday just gone, we got 3 goals.
So listeners,
but
if you
let 2 in.
I know, exactly. It's all gone different. So listeners, I don't know if you got the vibes, got the news, got the carrier pigeon. City went to Morecambe, a long way from home, and they beat them 3-2. 2 early goals, 2-0 up. Then we conceded twice, and then 80-something minute winner from Nicky Law.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
It was actually. Nicky Law sort of pulling the strings on all 3 goals.
Love it.
Obviously actually scoring the winner himself. Unbelievable ball for the first goal. I just have seen the highlights, but listened to it on the radio from the island of Lefkada in Greece. But I'm not sure what the deal is, because I've tried to watch it. I was there with my brother, another big Exeter City fan, and some other friends who also follow City, and tried to sort of pay the... I was under the impression that if you're not in England, you can watch it on that iFollow thing, but it's the most convoluted, badly designed website ever.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't get it to work. I don't know whether that's like, oh no, you can't do it if you just go on holiday. You have to live abroad and like be able to prove that somehow. I don't know. But anyway, couldn't watch it. Listened to it on the radio. And yeah, so I've only seen the highlights, but it looked incredible. That pass was ridiculous from Nicky Law.
Yeah, so if you haven't seen it, listeners, a ball out from Ward from the back, and Bowman doing that brilliant thing he's really been doing well, coming a bit deep, coming off the front line, nudges it off to Law, who plays a glorious outside of the foot ball to the left wing. Lee Martin with a lovely run around the outside of the rear right back, plays it back from essentially the byline back to the middle of the box. Jake Taylor, absolute hero, slots it away.
Yeah.
Great.
Really good. Nicky Law is such an outside of the boot player, isn't he?
He really is.
Like there's always been certain players, and they're, sort of classy midfielders who love an outside of the boot pass or shot, and Nicky Law is like so that player.
You know when you're an amateur footballer or a kid when you're playing, and people make disparaging comments when they look at your boots, and one has clearly been kicking the ball a lot more, and they say, tell which foot you play with, as if my right foot can't do more than their arms and legs put together.
Right. No, I've absolutely that's never experienced
Has it
that.
not? Well, fine.
But fine. You lived in Clumpton, and there's all sorts of strange things going on there.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah.
But that kind of thing. I wonder if Nicky Law, I wonder if he has to just get the outside of his boots replaced more often than the inside of his boots.
Yeah, maybe.
His wife or his mum's saying, Nicky, you don't need new boots. And he's like, look at the outside of my boots. They're worn to absolute threads.
I've been pinging crossfields.
Outside booters.
Yeah. Anyway, what a pass.
I reckon that's happening. It was a great pass.
It was all him, wasn't it? The second goal was all him as well.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
fair.
I think
good-
lots of good stuff.
Of course, they're all team goals, and there's some really good play from everyone else. Bowman involved in them, Lee Martin, of course, and but he's pulling the strings, isn't
And
he,
he's
Nicky
playing a
Law?
more
And I just
central
think-
role.
Yeah, but I just think we don't praise him enough.
Let's get back to that. Nicky Law, what a player.
There's been a lot of defending Jake Taylor.
Yep.
Vindicated this season already because
Yep.
he's been brilliant, and other things. But maybe it's just too obvious. It's just too obvious that Nicky Law's like the best player in League Two by like an absolute mile.
But I do think when he plays on the wing, he doesn't get the opportunity to do those kinds of things.
Yeah, but if you put Alan Shearer in goal, then he'll be shit, won't he?
Exactly. So I think we're seeing his...
Even though actually Alan Shearer did start out as a goalkeeper.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Like other greats,
Had
Matt
trials
Taylor.
for Newcastle as a youngster.
keeper?
And I think he was just so keen that he just went in goal or something like that anyway. But
You're wearing a kind of Newcastle United shirt, in a way.
I'm absolutely not wearing a Newcastle shirt.
Or a mime artist's shirt.
It's the stripes are in the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah. So I thought Law was absolutely right. Great. And then the second goal, and I think it was another ball, wasn't it, from Law to Taylor? Taylor running into the box.
Yep.
Kind of in a kind of classic Captain Marvel kind of way, got clobbered.
I think it's actually Lee Martin who plays the pass
Oh,
to
is it?
Taylor, but it's Law who picks out Martin in the first place.
And
It's
then
a
Taylor-
really calm
Oh, so
finish,
calm.
isn't it? You know.
So calm.
Composed.
And then Taylor kind of runs into the keeper with the ball, comes loose, Martin puts it away. Brilliant.
I'm not sure you could really call Jake Taylor's shooting composed
No.
generally.
No.
And he does a lot of things well, but you know, can't fault him on that one. It was a really nice finish. And it's just, but more importantly than that is he was arriving in the box.
Yes.
He was there to put that ball away, you know, where in the past he's been like, he wouldn't be making those runs into the box. And I think he's been given the kind of freedom to do that now in this sort of, with slightly kind of advanced position.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because Bowman often appears right in the heart of midfield, and then it gives the opportunity for some of the midfielders to... I mean, I think Bowman's been excellent again.
Yeah, he's just so keen to be involved in everything, isn't he? So much enthusiasm.
But not in,
such
I guess
a
that's
hard
a good thing
worker.
about two strikers, isn't it? You can have
Yeah.
someone who drops off,
Yeah.
and you're not like, where's the fellow we're supposed to be passing it to?
No start for Nicky Ajose.
Interesting.
This game. So Lee Martin.
Lee Martin's-
I mean, you can't argue with it.
You
can
can't argue, and he's been good every time he's come on.
He's changed the game every time
He
he's come
has.
on, I think, this season.
Yeah.
And Ajose, well, hasn't really done anything particularly wrong, has struggled to kind of make an impression so far. And I don't think, you know, I'm still confident that he'll be a good player. And and perhaps it's not we're not playing the exact system that would suit him. I think it's more been that so far. But yeah, for this game, I mean, that turned out to be the right call, didn't it?
It did.
Unless, of course, somehow from the front, Nicky Ajose has been responsible for all those clean sheets we've been keeping, because that's where it differed this game.
Yeah. So then City got their second, which was, like we said, a bit of a goalmouth scramble. Came loose off Taylor, and Martin slotted it away. 2-0 up with about half an hour gone, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Great.
I was loving it. I was eating
Yes.
this, I don't even know what it was, some sort of homemade Greek dish involving green beans.
Sounds nice.
That was delicious.
Most of this podcast is going to be taken up by us wishing that we were on holiday in Greece, I think. Yeah.
And me and my brother, with that big family dinner, we
Yeah.
were staying with friends' family. Me and my brother sharing an earphone each, listening to the City game while they understood, the big football fans out there.
Did they, when you won, did you smash some plates?
No. That's sort of the thing they do. Yeah, no, didn't even
Didn't do
see
it?
any of that. Actually, I think it's like at weddings they do that.
Smash some plates.
Yeah.
Well, in Exeter this year, we're going to be smashing records all over the place.
Yeah. And then I'm
Still
going to smash
unbeaten.
a plate just anyway.
Feel free.
Yeah.
Maybe a Plymouth Argyle plate.
I wouldn't, no, because I wouldn't actually want to touch it. You have to touch it to smash it, wouldn't you?
You have to kick. Oh no, you're still touching it.
I'll throw something at a Plymouth Argyle plate and break it.
In the style of like a school fete crockery smash.
Yeah, I've had this idea anyway, which is like it's not so much an idea, but like it's more of something I've stolen from like things you can do on stag do's in cheap European holiday destinations, which is you can go as a group and like smash stuff up.
What?
Like you pay, and then you can just like for example a car, and they give you a load of baseball bats, and you put like eye goggles on, and you pay like €20 each or whatever, and then you can just smash the car up.
Yeah, that sounds like good use of money and time.
So here's my proposal for the club: is maybe we could do this before the game in Red Square, maybe where they have that. Have you seen they've been having a mechanical bull?
Yes.
So get rid of that,
Yeah.
and then we'll have this little area, and we'll put loads of Argyle stuff in there, like plates and mugs and just anything we can find,
Yeah.
just all Argyle stuff. And then anyone, kids or any Exeter City fans, can pay a small fee and then smash it all up with a baseball bat, Exeter City branded baseball bat.
It sounds like a very responsible idea. So,
Well, you know, we'll put safety goggles on.
oh yeah, all right. Got safety goggles on, it's fine.
I think that could catch on. If we don't do it, Salford will.
That's true. I'm happy to let
Actually,
them.
they haven't got any rivals, have they? They can do it with Man United stuff.
Well, they've literally just ruined their local rivals of Bury by. By the way,
Let's not blame that entirely on.
I am gonna blame it
Salford
entirely.
City.
I'm gonna blame it on the Nevilles.
No, come on. Okay, yeah.
They're
let's
doing
do
all
that.
this sad face that old Bury have been bought by a joker, and at the same time they bought a different club next door, which they've got no relationship to. I don't
Yeah.
know what they're thinking. I mean, I'm sure they didn't predict the demise of Bury. Their mum was working there, but
Yeah.
this just
Also,
shows how
Yeah.
mad the whole thing is. That somewhere someone's pumping money in one place, and somewhere someone else has got no money at all.
okay, maybe I don't know enough about it. Perhaps the Nevilles are culpable, but
I
I
just-
don't think they're to blame. And I don't think by extension Salford City are to blame.
No, I'm sticking with it.
Although I like to, any opportunity to.
I wonder. You're probably right. They're not to blame, but I
Slugs
wonder
FC.
now if they're like, oh, we backed the wrong club. I wonder if they now feel like that.
I mean, there must be something more to it than that. Like you said, their
Well, it's a
mum,
shambles, isn't
their
it?
mum works there.
Yeah.
There must be some reason why they didn't go like, let's buy Bury.
As far as I understand it, it's an absolute mess, and so it's been remortgaged against other businesses. No other businesses have been remortgaged against it, so there's now no way of regaining the money that's in theory tied up in
Right.
the car park, the ground.
It's all relative, isn't it, though? Because people who haven't got like millions of pounds could go like, oh, come on, why don't you pay your money, you're rich, to sort of take on all this debt and take on this complete disaster of a
Yeah.
business and like a community club or whatever. And then you're going to carry on losing money as it continues to be, like
No, I understand.
engulf all these debts from other places and whatnot. And
Yeah.
then, but if you ask somebody to do the same, if you ask one of these people blaming the Nevilles or asking them, why aren't you putting your money in it? If you ask one of those people, okay, well, why don't you put the relative, the same amount of money that you have into a failing business? They'd be like, obviously not.
Yeah, of course. I'm being unfair, but
Anyway, I was talking about Bury a bit there. I don't think we made that clear. That was the Bury section. Although we will never be talking about them again because they don't exist.
oh dear,
See you later.
terrible. I mean, that's terrible. Ruined by
And it doesn't even
idiots.
help us. It's not like there's an extra promotion place. It
No.
does, but it helps someone in League Two because now only one team goes down this season, but that wasn't going to be
League
us
One.
anyway.
Help someone in League One, doesn't it?
No, League Two as well. In League Two, now only one team is relegated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because
Because only 3 come down from League
Yeah.
1, but 2 get promoted from Conference. What's the deal there?
you've gone too far for me now. I stopped caring after League Two.
I was thinking it might pay dividends for Torquay, or it might stitch Torquay up if only one team comes up.
I can't.
I'll look into it.
Can't remember,
But on
look it
that
up.
note, did you see this week the Times published the most profitable clubs in England
No, I didn't, but I
Access-
imagine we're right up there.
in the top 20?
Yep.
Top 15 even, I think.
Zero debt, isn't it?
Zero debt, but also we've got profit, which is quite interesting. The, you can look at the league, and I'm kind of surprised by who's up there. Manchester City have got a lot of profit. Tottenham have got a lot of profit. I think they're top. But Exeter City in the top 20 with actual cash in the bank, which is, when you see what's happening to Bury and Bolton and millions of others, Macclesfield, you think, well, I'm grateful for that.
Yeah, oh, totally. And it's like easy to sit and sort of be smug about it, isn't it? Not that anyone's doing that, but it would be easy to.
Well, it could have been us. Let's not beat around the bush. We were very, very close to being.
Yeah, we had some.
In
We had
non-existence.
those jokers, didn't we? And
Yep.
it could have been us. Yeah, we were right there on the verge, you know. But like, I mean, we're not by
We were
any
fortunate.
means sort of business experts. I don't know the ins and outs of this. I barely even know what's happened. But if clubs like Exeter City can pull it together, you know, when the business is about to
Yeah.
go and put something together and create a way for the supporters to buy their club back, and then we've proven since that happened that that's a workable model.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then why can't that be implemented when other clubs get into similar positions? You know, like I guess there's more debt or whatever, and
I
each
think
club's
what
different.
happened-
But
I think the things that saved us, the equivalent Bury thing would be when Russell and Thingy, when Russell and Bromley messed up our club.
Russell and Brand.
The Bury equivalent is that then another joker bought us. So they were already in a really bad state.
Oh, yeah, and he
then
bought it for a quid,
He
didn't
bought
he?
it for a quid, didn't know anything about football. He was doing it as a business enterprise. And then, and this isn't his fault, the thing was a mess, which he couldn't then unravel or didn't have the money to unravel or whatever.
Yeah.
So the equivalent would be, and the thing that saved Exeter, to some extent, I believe, is that, of course, it was always the council involved, and some of the debt was council debt, and they then, obviously,
Yeah,
because they're a
council.
city thing, it was in their interest to keep the thing going, whereas Bury is all mortgaged to banks, to other businesses, and so on. So
Yeah, okay.
almost impossible to unravel, the buyer who then didn't buy it said.
Right, okay.
Anyway, there we are. We're
Anyway, if
grateful
you're
for City.
someone who's already, and if you're someone who's already listening to sort of niche League Two club podcast, you probably already know more about this than we do.
True. Back to the game.
Yeah.
It was 2-0. We were riding high, and then right before, well, let's say this, Morecambe made a change before half-time,
Yeah.
and it seemed to make a lot of difference.
Well, he scored, didn't he?
He did. And so they were two... We
And
went
it's
in,
an absolute belter.
It really was.
So maybe it doesn't. It's not like, oh, now we're scoring goals, but we're letting them in because we got. That was
a really good
There's
goal.
not much anyone could do about that one.
I mean, Lewis Ward's massive.
and it was from a long way out.
He wasn't getting to that.
And they don't go in, do they? Those usually.
No. So that took us in at half-time 2-1. And I was thinking, a safety goal would be nice, but we didn't get it. Morecambe got another 2-2 and then had all the pressure. And in fairness to our defenders, we, ignoring the kind of wonder goal, only conceded one with really 50 minutes of pressure. And I was thinking, this is only going one way. Did that sound the same in Greece?
Yeah, it totally did. But there also seemed to be this kind of like real sort of moment, the game-changing moment. Tom Parks is warming up. It's 2-2. Tom Parks is warming up on the sidelines, stripped and ready to go.
Yeah.
And then Taylor pulls him back, tracksuit back on, sits back down on the bench. Alex Fisher comes on instead.
The big Fisher.
So it looks
Fisher and
like a sort of tactical masterstroke, doesn't it? If you look at it like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't there to watch the game to see exactly how it unfolded, but he's about to put a defender on.
Yeah.
Clearly, the thinking there is, let's get the point.
Yeah.
Changes his mind, puts a centre forward on. Alex Fisher's involved in the goal, in as much as he missed it when it came past him.
But he laid it off back to Law with another lovely finish by Nicky Law.
No, that's Jake Taylor who laid it back to him.
Oh.
But he was in there and he was involved in the goal. Whether or not, I think he sort of like almost kind of like falls backwards trying to get on the end of it. But then, to be fair again to Jake Taylor, as he worked so hard to be there in the box and to pick up the loose ball that Bowman flicked on and Fisher missed. Taylor worked to get that ball, laid it back to Law. Lovely finish, left foot.
It was a lovely finish. And no power on it at all, just placed
Yeah.
it. So that was 5 minutes to go. We come home with 3 points. And listeners, this means we are top of the league. Argyle are second, Forest Green are third. And for me, Dan, most important of all, flipping unbeaten,
Yeah.
which
Yep.
is massive.
Very good.
Only unbeaten team in League Two, obviously. Top of the league. So Saturday coming, we welcome, Mansfield Town to St James Park, who are, a bit of a bogey side for us, but they sit 14th in the table currently. It's not really kicked on for them yet. 1 win and a load of draws, Dan.
Yeah. We don't do very well against Mansfield, do we?
We don't.
We lost 4-1 to them at home last season, right?
It was a bit miserable. I mean, so they got quite a lot of players we're familiar with. Bobby Lesnick in goal, of course, if he's playing.
Oh, I love him.
Then they've got that fella that we nearly got. Was it this summer, Willem Tomlinson, or was that January? I can't remember.
Oh, it was in January. The guy from Blackburn.
That's
It was
right, yeah.
That was in January.
So he went there instead.
He played against us, didn't he? Actually,
He did. That's right, of course. And then
Was it 4-1 at home?
It was,
At St James's
it was a
Park?
thumping, wasn't it? I remember that. It was horrible. And then they've got Nicky Maynard up front, as well as that guy CJ Hamilton. So you remember last year they had
yeah.
last year they had Tyler Walker, Dez's son, with
Right.
CJ Hamilton, and they took us apart. So they've gone and replaced one dangerous striker with another in Nicky Maynard, as well as the other Danny Rose, not the Spurs player. So we've got a really bad record against them. I hope we're getting them at the right time. They've had a few send-ins off.
Yep.
They're quite good at scoring still, 2 in most games this season. So we're going to need to defend well. And
I think it's probably our first. Is it our first big test? I suppose you could say Swindon is a test too.
Swindon look like it might be.
But in terms of teams that we don't normally get results against,
Yeah,
this is the first one that we've been,
could be interesting. And it
actually
might,
saying that we lost twice in Macclesfield last season. But yeah, so it's going to be tough.
I think it will be an indicator of how the season's going to go. I don't think anyone wants to say. I know we've just gone on about being top of the league, but I don't think anyone really wants to say, "Oh, we're all set," especially because of last year's start, which then faded. So this might be quite an indicator
Yeah.
of.
And we can't be. Yeah. It's very early days.
I know.
And also we've just had a really good result, but there's still we're not flying, are we?
No, we're not.
You know.
And we're not. I'm
it's-
not seeing things. I think no one can cope with this.
No, absolutely not. And there's concerns,
Yeah.
about we do have concerns with the
But
way
we
we're
are
playing
getting
the squad.
results. We are getting results.
Yeah.
So if we manage to get a result against Mansfield, I'll feel like maybe we're just going to get results even when we don't necessarily play better than the others.
Yeah, I hope so.
So let's see. That's Mansfield. And then in the newly named...
Sorry,
Oh,
just
go
quickly,
on.
do we have any? I suppose Tom Parks is back, isn't he?
I guess so.
He must be, in fact, back from that suspension.
Yeah.
What does that mean for Aaron Martin, do you think? Because I think I saw something
People are loving
somewhere
him.
that I think stats-wise he is like right up there with
Right.
any player in League Two so far this season.
I think he's been
And I
great.
don't know the specifics of that because I haven't looked into it. I just sort of, as I was like scrolling past just random football news,
Yeah.
it popped up and caught my eye, and I thought, oh, great, I know that now, and I don't need to look into it anymore.
That's why we're getting such a well-informed segment
Yeah,
here.
and that's someone who does a football podcast.
Listeners...
That's the sort of research. To be fair, I've been on holiday,
Oh, yeah.
in case we haven't mentioned it.
Whereas normally you're right on the stats. Listeners, that's the kind of high-level, integrated and integrity-driven podcast this is. We just want to share facts with people. And that fact is, Aaron Martin's doing quite well.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, whether or not I know the specifics or not, that is true.
Someone on the
He's
internet
done
told
really
you
well.
something, yeah.
No, but also but that's only reinforcing the fact that he's looked really good in every game so far.
No, he's looked really good, which adds to the mystery of why he disappeared out of the team last year, but whatever. We've moved
and
on.
is he about to disappear out of the team again? This is my point I'm making now that Tom Parks is back.
Yeah, don't know. We'll see, won't we, Saturday. I surely Martin can't be dropped. He was great.
Yeah, but there was points last season where
He was
we
great,
switched
yeah.
to 3 at the back. No, but when we switched to 3 at the back, and you think, surely now Aaron Martin comes in one of these centre-back spots, especially when we had like Troy Brown was injured or something. No, Pierre Sweeney. Sweeney was getting in the team as part of the 3
Yeah.
centre-backs over Aaron Martin last season. So let's see what happens. I hope he stays in there, but I don't know what's going on behind the scenes.
No, I'd be interested to know. We'll never know, of course.
We might.
Do you think so? When
Well-
Aaron Martin publishes his autobiography?
Yeah, never say never. Or
Is that,
Matt
the name, is
Taylor's-
that the name of his autobiography? Should
or
be.
Matt Taylor's memoirs.
Matt Taylor's memoirs. Yeah, what would you call that? An icebox and a prayer.
Yeah, I like it.
What about Jaden Richardson?
So, both those games I've only heard on the radio. I'm really looking forward to seeing him play.
Yep.
Maybe that'll be this Saturday. I don't know, but yeah, can't wait. And it sounds like he's the real deal.
Yeah, it'd be great to see him, and great to have some more options back there. Of course, we probably will see him in the game on Tuesday. I don't even know what trophy this is anymore. I cannot keep up. It's the EFL trophy, isn't it?
Leasing.com trophy.
Leasing.com.
Yeah.
Who is Leasing?
He runs a string of convenience stores. No, it's awful, isn't it? Leasing.com.
Leasing.
Get bent.
Oh, it's mad.
Stop ploughing this shit into our game.
Oh, I mean...
We don't want it.
Oh, I don't want anything to be sponsored by a website.
I don't want the money that provides
No.
in this sport. And I know no one was asking me, but I'm sure other people agree, you know?
I
I know
what's it about?
It's always been a thing, and it used to be a bit more quaint, didn't it? Like team would be sponsored by the local, like
Yeah,
limo
ironmongers.
driver or whatever, or some of that still goes on. But you know, it used to be like I don't know, and it wasn't too full on. Like your ground would have a name, and it would just be called. This is before my time actually, but the League Cup with no
Well,
sponsorship. But at
aye.
least Coca-Cola Cup sounds good.
Rumbelows Cup, listeners.
The Milk Cup.
The Milk Cup.
Was that just sponsored by just milk?
Yeah.
All milk?
I think it was the Milk Board.
Right, okay. Not just milk,
Well, yeah.
the substance.
The Lemon Cup.
Yeah, I think we should have that. Like, you're not going to get any money because, like, if
Where's
you
that
just
money
say
coming from?
exactly who's in charge of,
Rhubarb.
yeah,
Rhubarb Trophy.
it would sound good. Yeah, so leasing.com.
Leasing.com.
trophy. What an absolute travesty.
Oh, it's ridiculous. So that's that.
I
Is
do
that
think
the
how
one-
the name sounds should come into it.
I can't even keep up. Is that the one where we play 3 teams and some of them are Premier League teams under 21?
Do you know what? I don't even know.
Don't know.
I think so.
Oh, I hate it. And like,
I hate this
it.
cup anyway.
Like,
The only thing it's good for is like
Well, it's a Tuesday night out, isn't it?
is but also giving some squad players a bit of
yeah.
game time. That's
Yeah.
all it's good for.
I guess we'll see old. Forgotten his name. The new centre back who's on loan from Bristol City, Robbie
Cundy.
Cundy. I suppose we'll see him. Haven't seen him much yet.
No.
He came on, didn't he? One of the last home games. And
That Swansea game, yeah.
Richardson, yeah, Swansea, that's right. And some of the younger lads that we've still got that haven't gone out on loan. I guess we'll see them.
Ben Seymour.
But
I
it's
imagine.
just a stupid trophy. And give it a real name.
Yeah, just give it a
and
real name.
Stop messing up with stuff.
We'll name it if you want.
The Dan and John trophy.
Yeah, but we came up with something better than that. We came up with the Big Bank Theory.
You did, I didn't.
Well, actually, it was my mate Jack Pullman, but like,
Thanks, Jack.
He didn't even remember it, so I could have claimed it as my own.
Did he not?
He doesn't, and he doesn't remember coming up with that, but he did.
So yeah, let us
Anyway.
know. We'll come up with a name.
Yeah.
It'll be jaunty, it'll be exciting,
Yeah.
be meaningful. All in one word.
I tell you
We're good like that.
who we also might see in that game potentially
Yes, who?
is Ben Chrisen.
Oh, yeah.
Is that how you say it? Because that rhymes if it is.
Well, we know.
It's
There's nothing wrong with having a
cool
rhyming name.
Yeah, if he is as good as everyone's making out and becomes like,
The
the
next
next
one.
Ollie Watkins or whoever, Ben Chrisen is a cool name and everyone in the world's going to know you.
When he got christened, did they say, "I christen this child Ben Chrisen"?
Yeah, must have done.
What's the name of this child? Chrisen.
They
Ben?
probably it might have been Benjamin. That would have ruined it a bit.
Well, let's find out. If anyone knows how to pronounce his name, let us know through the written medium of Twitter, so we still won't know.
Or post.
Please post us
post
a
us a
cassette
letter.
tape
Yeah.
of you saying how this surname is pronounced.
Yeah.
That'd be really helpful.
Yeah, that'd be great. But the reason I even bring him up is because this week it was in the news that Frank Lampard has asked him to come and offered him the chance to come and train with the Chelsea team.
Hands
You
off,
see that?
Lampo. Yeah, I don't trust those London swine one jot.
No, me neither. Look what they've done.
Look what they've done.
Look what they've done.
Look what they've done. Look what you've done, Frank.
Yeah,
Roman.
they've all got to take responsibility for it, haven't they?
Why is no one's first name Viking?
Don't know. It probably is.
Probably is. I don't trust them. I don't want them to have our young players. I don't know if we've got any say in this. How
Yeah.
old's Ben Chrisen?
Well, he famously made his debut as our youngest ever player.
Is he still 15?
Yeah, he's 50, he's well 15. He's like
Yeah.
15 for a bit.
I don't even know what the rules are. You have to be 18, don't you, before you can be signed or something?
No. What do you mean? A professional
Before,
contract?
as in like with Ampadu, you can put off the thing for a certain age, till a certain age, can't you?
Yeah, but they can nick him at any point.
I know they can, and that's why I don't trust them, and that's why
And
I
they
don't want
they're
them.
going to want to nick him as soon as possible because... And that's what maybe... I know this is a cynical approach, but do you think the reason he came on
So that we get the...
is so he's played a first-team game, which I don't know, but may have some influence over the compensation
It
fee?
certainly will, won't it?
Bound
Yeah.
to be, innit?
Yeah, I don't think you're wrong to be cynical. I think Chelsea are the cynics here, stealing our good players. Like, it's still, we haven't really talked about this that much because we love Ampadu, but it's an outrage that he's gone to a Bundesliga club via a Premier League club. He's starting some of those games.
Well, he's actually not played yet for them, but...
Oh, he will be, won't he?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure
Yeah,
he will.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why they've got him in. He's a Welsh international, and yet the money we got is a fraction of what we're actually owed if we'd sold him on the free market.
Yeah.
And then they're
also-
planning the same
and
again.
and they're also going like, well, yeah, but if he plays... If he meets all these goals we've got for him and these little check marks, we'll give you a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, like...
It's terrible.
Get lost. Like, there's something not right about it.
And they're all like tweeting like sad faces about Berry. It's literally this kind of stuff that ruins lower league football.
Yeah, I mean, well, it does.
I know Berry's a mess. I
so
know
that's
it
very
is.
different.
But
That's,
just
you know,
but just
but-
taking money or assets, which is what these players are, just taking them for much less than they're worth.
Yeah.
Worth is
It's even worse for us in a way because we're a club that spends within our means. Like, we don't spend money that we don't have.
Yeah.
And then when we make some money, legitimately make money by developing these young players,
Yeah.
and there's an element of luck there, and we can't take all the credit for these, like, the talent of these young players. We can take some, and then when they come in, and then we get nothing back, or what we get is, like, crumbs from these, like, massive, like, huge, like, businesses. It is annoying, isn't it?
well, yeah. It's
And
it's,
it
it's
seems
immoral, is
and
what
it's,
it is.
Yeah, and it's unfair, and you think that something should be done about it, but it absolutely won't be. There's absolutely no chance. If anything, it's only going to get worse.
I mean, Taggy's livid mainly because he wants to get some more of those digital advertising boards on the
We've
side.
still got 3 sides to go.
We're going to need that cash. Taggy knows it. We know it. Pay up, Chelsea.
Yeah, they're not going to.
It'll be the same again. Some tribunal where we get some poxy cash. You're actually right. It's crumbs from the table.
Yeah, and if some of those players go on to be like
Superstars.
great, and you get. I mean, I know this is like whatever, but like then you see things posted by Chelsea affiliated things online saying stuff about how the Ampadu's somehow a product of their youth system or something, or implying those kind of things online. I'm not sure if that's Chelsea officially, but people have done it. That it'd be like, oh, look at this Chelsea youngster. It's like,
Yeah.
they bought him,
Yeah.
and they didn't even pay any money.
Yeah.
Or they basically paid like a couple, like the equivalent of a
beans,
couple of
wasn't it?
quid.
Yeah. I know. It's terrible. I hope that we're able. I don't know if we are. I mean, I don't know if you can fight against these behemoths, but I hope we're able to do something, learn something from the Ampadu nicking to.
Well, what are we supposed to do?
I don't know.
Stop
Well-
players being good.
No, I don't know if it's about contracts or whatever, but who knows? I mean, you can't blame the player for wanting to go to a really good club,
Of course not.
but if they could just sign that contract so that the money's worth actually, there's some legal requirements for cash.
Yeah, but they're not allowed to sign a contract. And you
Until
think
that's
if
right,
a big
so they have to
team's going
wait.
to come in when you're 15 and you're 16 and you're thinking, I could be playing first team here. I mean, it's unlikely, isn't it, that you're going to play first team for a Premier League team if you're 16, but it can happen, and you think, I don't know, I'll stick around for another 2 years to help out my club. I mean, maybe
you will,
might.
but you're right. If you're 16 and you're being offered something, you don't know what's around the corner, do you? Your knee might go in the next week.
Yeah. I said the last person I would blame would be the player.
No, but
Yeah.
the rules need to change. Anyway, we are looking forward to the Mansfield game on Saturday. We thank you for bearing with us over our holiday period. We're back now, aren't we? We're back in the game.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, you got more planned?
Nothing in the diary. Well, I am going again, not for a bit.
Where are you going this time?
Lisbon.
Blimey. Listeners, don't worry, I'll be here, cold and shivering like you, while Dan suns himself.
Well,
Are we invited?
I don't think there's any connection to. I don't think Portugal got too much of a connection with City, have they? But I only went to Greece because of the Grecians.
That's
we're
good of
the
you.
Grecians.
That's good of
our
you.
spiritual homeland.
So your options for holidays are Greece, Brazil, and Barnstable.
And let's not forget Turkey.
Of course, Turkey. Of course. How could we ever? By the way, now, have you noticed the latest with our YouTube star? If you recall, listeners, a YouTube star from Turkey is playing as Exeter City on FIFA. I think he's moved on now.
Has he? Because I really want to unfollow him on Twitter because it's really annoying seeing, like, I can't understand Turkish. And
But his followers have remained with us and still comment on all our Instagram stuff, and now are even suggesting songs to be played before kickoff. Turkish songs.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, let him have one of them.
Well, I don't know if we've done it or not yet, but that's what seems to be mainly
Tell you
filling
what,
up Instagram. at the minute.
it would be an improvement on some of the suggestions.
Indeed so.
Actually, in our defence, some like when they do that thing,
They
what's it called?
listen.
SJP Sounds or something.
Yeah.
It's got some cool name. Anyway, there's some good stuff. There is some good stuff in there.
And in
Fair
fairness
play
to the chooser-
City fans. There's some good selections.
But there's also the same old dross.
There's
Come
some-
on,
there's
we
some
don't need
bad
to hear
ones.
some of those ones again.
Yeah, but on the whole,
On the whole, pretty good.
not bad. It's better than that. Oh, be careful here. That City song. What's the? It's like a famous song, but then they've changed the words to be about City. They played the.
Yeah.
What song is it again?
I
Come on, you know.
can't remember.
If you know or wrote that or performed it, email in.
We'd like to hear from you,
Yeah.
of course, as always. bigbankpod@gmail.com.
And if you do email in, then we'll very quickly change our opinion on it.
On Twitter @BigBankPod and on Facebook, the Big Bank Theory podcast. Thanks for listening. This is a Thursday emergency podcast because of the enormous national news that Exeter City remain unbeaten and are top of League Two, and Plymouth Argyle are languishing behind, somewhere below us, second. My name's John. I've been here with my friend and colleague Dan. We'll see you soon.
Cheers.